The KZN Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs MEC, Thulasizwe Buthelezi, has confirmed the appointment of Dr. Mike Sutcliffe and Dr. Cassius Lubisi to help stabilize the troubled city of eThekwini. The MEC says this is aimed at ensuring efficient service delivery. eThekwini has been without a mayor since the redeployment of Mxolisi Kaunda to the NCOP. Reverend Buthelezi joins us now for a discussion. A very good afternoon to you, Reverend Buthelezi. Thanks very much for your time. Now, we know about eThekwini, but how many of these troubled municipalities are going to be assisted?
Good afternoon, Vuyo, and the viewers at home. As we know that eThekwini has been showing the red flags for quite some time now in terms of governance failures and service delivery challenges. But throughout the province, there are pockets of municipalities where there are challenges. But as the incoming administration, we decided to focus on eThekwini, given its strategic importance as the metro, but also given the deteriorating situation in eThekwini, as evidenced by the complaints emanating from the ratepayers and all other stakeholders who feel that eThekwini municipality needs to be supported.
But eThekwini has been receiving, I mean, this is the 9th year that they have been receiving support from National Treasury. Do we know why this hasn't worked as it ought to have been, or as it ought to have done?
Precisely, Vuyo. That is why, as the Cooperative department, we have decided to introduce Section 154, which is going to streamline and coordinate all these support initiatives, as you've mentioned, from the National Treasury, also from the Department of Water and Sanitation, even from the Presidency, because the Presidency has established a presidential working group on eThekwini with the aim to assist them out of the difficulties. So our intervention is aimed at coordinating all these initiatives under one umbrella, where the coordinating center will be the KZN Cooperative, using the 2 governance experts who will start their work on Monday, Dr. Mike Sutcliffe and Dr. Cassius Lubisi.
Now, the municipality came out saying they acknowledge the support and they welcome it. Of course, I mean, very often in these situations, municipalities or municipal officials and the politicians there would say they welcome the intervention, but do the exact opposite when the actual intervention has to take place, and they push back.
Well, precisely, because in my engagement yesterday with the Executive Committee of eThekwini, they pledged their support. But I did indicate that I will not hesitate to escalate our intervention to Section 139 if we feel that there is no cooperation and political buy-in in the current process which we have introduced. Therefore, we do hope that they stick to their word, because what we are doing in the best interests of the people of eThekwini. The strategic support which we are providing is aimed at stabilizing the finances, but more importantly, dealing with the bottlenecks as you have in water shortages and all the other service delivery challenges. Therefore, we would expect that they work hand in hand with this support which we have unveiled yesterday.
Explain to our viewers what escalating this to Section 139 from 154 would mean. And I'm asking this also because already there are parties and people who say you should have gone straight for 139 instead of 154.
Section 154 of the Constitution empowers the provincial government to offer support, as we have done, to support and advise the municipality. Section 139 goes a step further, where I, as the MEC for COGTA, then assume the powers of the EXCO and council, and those are then implemented by an administrator. That is the extreme case if the conditions become worse. Therefore, we did engage with the EXCO yesterday to say what we are doing as COGTA is in the best interest of the municipality, but more importantly, we are doing it on behalf of the citizens of eThekwini who feel let down by a municipality which is not responsive to their needs.
Would it have been drastic to go for 139, straight, given the fact that, as I asked earlier, I mean, they have been getting all forms of assistance for many, many years now without much of a change?
We thought, Vuyo, let us give them the benefit of the doubt, because part of the problem is that all these support structures that have been there from the National Treasury and other departments have not been coordinated so that they have a point of impact. So we come into eThekwini knowing full well where the challenges are, and we hope that with the Section 154, within 12 months, we would have been able to turn the situation around.
Say your assessment is correct, that it is in the main because the efforts, that and the help that they got before was not coordinated. What is there to suggest that on their own they did their best, that which you hope to build upon, and that which is the reason for you to give them a second chance?
Well, there's nothing there to suggest that they tried. In fact, the conditions have worsened, because this Section 154 support that we implemented yesterday was in fact decided last year in March by the previous provincial administration, but it was not implemented because there was a lack of political will on both sides. So therefore, with the deteriorating situation, the leadership of eThekwini is now acutely aware that we need to all work together to make sure that this intervention and this support is a success, so that we get out of eThekwini and allow them to then carry on running the city on their own.
Decode that for us, lack of political will. What exactly was or wasn't done?
Well, when the previous MEC tried to implement Section 154, the councillors of eThekwini rejected it outright and said they would not implement it. And unfortunately, COGTA did not have the political will to persist. So therefore, I came back to eThekwini as the new MEC to say, unlike before, we will not be pushed back, because what we are doing is both constitutional, but more importantly, it's an imperative based on the outcry of the people of eThekwini, and we will not allow a situation where we are pushed back, because what we're doing as an oversight on behalf of the provincial government.
So was it political will then, or was it deliberate pushback on the part of the senior politicians who were in charge and who had the power to do so?
Well, it was political will, Vuyo, because there are many recommendations which have been recommended by the National Treasury, which have been outlined by the City Integrity Unit, which have simply not been implemented. And they've been lying there for more than 12 months. So if the leadership of eThekwini had been proactive to implement some of the recommendations and resolutions that have been taken by the assisting departments, we would not be where we are today, whereas COGTA, we are now forced to further intervene in the way that we have done.
Which are some of the municipalities you can also mention which are going to get perhaps a similar level of focus as the one that you are giving to eThekwini? Can you mention a few?
Well, we can speak of Utugela District Municipality, where there's been an administrator there for many years, but instead of the situation getting better, the situation is getting worse. We're looking at places like Mtubatuba, where we have made necessary changes to ensure that service delivery becomes the coalface of the interaction between the community and the municipality. So as and when these challenges are brought to us, we will act decisively without any political bias to ensure that we give the necessary support to the municipalities which require it.
Let's leave it there. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.